I'm back with another one. I had a K5 Blazer body that was had some issues from RC4 drive. So I did this during the time I was doing Hell Ride. Had some casting issues where the K5 Blazer emblems go, and some alignment issues as well. So I sanded and filled it the best that I could. I just mainly had fun with this with an I don't give a shit attitude. John Wick's driving, and yeah, no canopy, 3D printed tonneau cover, marked out the tail lights, left the Chevrolet emblem on there, did some highlights with a black Sharpie in the doors just to give it some contrast, some chrome pen highlights around the windows, and a little puppy in there. Let's check out the interior. Some tokens, shotgun, smoke grenade, picture of his beloved. Oh yeah, and his marker. There you go if you're a John Wick fan. Yeah, not much to say. I mean, a lot of time into this. Had some testers airbrush paint, solvent based. That's about 3 years old. And of course, I've been sitting. I cut it down with some lacquer thinner. Still had issues with it, so I thought, well, fuck it, let's have some fun with it. So I ended up spraying, painting, you know, sanding, you name it. Cowl hood is 3D printed. That took a lot of filling to do to get it, well, not exactly right. Nothing is perfect, but yeah, a lot of sanding and filling over many months. The hood does open. I've got no detail whatsoever in the engine compartment. It's fully open. Let's get a light on there. There we go. Fully open. I did clock the motor just to get the lower center of gravity, because it is what I deem as a Hot Wheels build. Had a buddy that gave me some aluminum rims, to which I then put some Proline Hoosier chain link boots on it, and some RC4 drive ion caps, which just snugly fit on there nice enough. Where are we? The shocks, I think those are 50 mil if I'm not mistaken, but I shortened them. The suspension on this is pretty tight, stiff, being a road beast as she is. Tonneau cover, again 3D printed, and then underneath I just got the electronics for the body. So as the body comes off, the lighting system that's with it comes with it as well. So I'll give you a quick little boo here. I got this thing set up on RC4 drive's little light box. 4 channels, headlights. We're gonna have some front street underglow, and then we're gonna have some rear street underglow for the front, and then rear street underglow at the back. And that's it for lighting on this one. I just want to do something cool and simple. Those are Hobby Details LED lights. I don't have the, oh, I got a packaging right here. If you're not familiar, Hobby Details, economic, good, fun, blah blah blah. So yeah, there you go. Let me see if I can pull the body off. You can bear with me and be a little. So the fit on this body is tight. As you can see, past couple of builds I've been doing, I use the rare earth magnets in strategic locations, so that way I've got no body fasteners and posts that stick through. I like to get closer to that scale look when I can. That's where the lights poke through. Wiring system, there's John Wick's butt. He's a 7-inch tall figure, so I had to shave out there to actually make him fit in, and he just barely fits in. I did lower the body on this, so because of where the frame rails are, I had to cut out part of the interior and make an adjustment on this side here for where the ESC sits. So I actually had to cut that up, do some shaving, and then re-glue everything, and I'll show you the ESC in a second. And then again, just the headlights. So the posts that mount in on the front, I think it's the number 2 or number 3 bumper mount. I've got to trim those down a little bit because it is still quite tight, lots of paint on there. But yeah, that's the body. Like I said, no working exhaust. Again, just the tips. That's part of the Hobby Details lighting system. Let's see if I can show you these guys here. Here's one of the tips. So those mount in wherever you want to, and then the LED light fits in from the back. It's got a silicone sleeve that is pressure fit and goes in there quite nicely. So haven't had any issues thus far with them. So highly recommend it. So I'll move the body out of the way for a momento, and then I'll show you the chassis. Okay. So sticking with the Hot Wheels, I 3D printed my own skid plate underneath, kind of full width of the body, so it hides everything underneath if I ever roll the truck, which I really hope I don't. I've got the scale brake rotors on there. I ended up with the front drive shaft. As you can see, I completely pulled off. I completely pulled out the casing here. Oh, I got a battery loose now. Because it was the steering knuckles themselves were hampering the overall clearance of the steer. So I pulled those out, pulled the drive shafts out, and then just got these so they spin freely. Single speed transmission, Traxxas servo, running on a 3S, you know, and again, just mounting everything, fly sky receiver, and then the ESC and motor combo, which is a Castle, I think it's a Sidewinder Micro, sitting over here. That's why I had to adjust the interior. Found an awesome 3S battery online. None of the local suppliers had it, so yep, I went to Amazon and got what I needed. And again, pretty stiff in the rear. Oh, and then they call it the anti-wrap bar. Let me flip this over for a second. So RC four-wheel drive makes one anti-wrap bar to go on their crawlers. I thought, what a cool scale look this would be, and if I ever have any issues with the amount of torque this thing is doing, to get a second. Well, the bracket that they make is only proprietary to, I believe it's the driver's side. So I ended up 3D printing a bracket for the passenger side and then mounting a secondary, so that way it looks like a ladder bar in a true hot rod. Again, probably not scale correct, but it's my idea, so go build your own if you got problems with it. Hardened steel drive shaft, and yeah, just tied up the wiring. Printed some 3D braces just to hold down the wiring, keep everything nice and tight and clean. And there you go. So I'm going to see if I can film and just do a quick couple of burnouts in my garage so you can see what it does. Yeah, it doesn't suck.